afternoon to all of you. I see so many old friends here from years and years of campaigning with so many of you, going door to door and putting signs in and making phone calls right here in Fairfax, just about a mile from my old campaign headquarters, which we're still using. Yeah, it's not going to come up. Sorry, I'm trying. Public service. But we need your help this year again to win the way so many of you have helped me win right here in Fairfax, and that's with a great grassroots effort. Yes. And we're going to need that right here in Fairfax if we're going to prevail. And to do that, we need to be a united team. You want this? No. To do that, we need to be a united team. And I am very, very pleased to see Pete Snyder here waving an E.W. Jackson sign. That is a classy, unified move by Pete, and I know that nobody here is the least bit surprised. But you still got to do it. Pete, we're really glad you're here. Folks, we got to reach out to people all across Fairfax, the biggest county, the biggest vote catch in the whole Commonwealth, and bring as many of them in as we possibly can and motivate them with our message for how to get the economy going in the private sector. Right. You know, the different visions here that we're going to see in this race are going to be, as Pat said, they're going to be stark. They're going to be obvious. My vision for how to get the private sector going again is to get government out of the way. Get education right, get transportation right, and get out of the way when it comes to regulations and taxes and those things that slow down economic opportunity. And economic opportunity is just liberty in the economy. That's what we're talking about. And my view is getting government out of the way, and my opponent wants government to get in there and tell you how you should make your money and tell you how to do it and whether you can or not. And he also wants to pick the winners and losers. And as we've seen from his own track record, which used to be what he ran for governor on, there's a series of losers in there. That's not responsible for a governor to spend your tax money trying to pick who's going to win and who's going to lose in our society.
Right.
A governor who respects you and honors you, every Virginian, is one that expects you to make a better decision than your government. What's made America great is not America's government, it's Americans. And it's the principles. The principles that we have built this nation on, and they started right here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So it is altogether appropriate that we be for, again, carrying those principles out into a campaign and then into governance and into policy. And why do I say it like that? Because when you're standing on somebody's doorstep, it's important that they know we're committed to preserving the first principles of this country. But they also need to know what that means in their life, in their business, in their tax return. They need to know that. And we need you all to pay close attention to the policy proposals we're rolling out so you can be our advocates. Because as many of you who've worked on my campaigns know, I have an unusual record. Being outspent in 4 races in a row and winning all 4 of them. And the simple explanation for that is that I didn't win them. You did. You did. And I think it's fair to say that in every aspect of preparation for a campaign for governor, we outclass our opponent except one: fundraising. But as Brian Moran said in 2009, we need a fighter, not a fundraiser.
Yes, sir.
And I think you all know that you get that with Ken Cuccinelli. I think the Democrats know that too. And that's why they're going to work very hard to keep us from getting across the finish line successfully again.
Not gonna happen.
Now, yesterday we rounded out this ticket. It's been a little mystery about how that might get rounded out. But I will tell you, yesterday we had about 1,000 more people in that Coliseum than in 2009. That tells me that there's a great deal of grassroots strength in this party still today. And I believe that if the people of Virginia come out and fight for our first principles with us, that we can't lose. We can't lose. And we're counting on you all to recruit them to come out. And now I know who I'm going to be doing that with. For Lieutenant Governor, of course, E.W. Jackson won yesterday, and Mark Obenshain for Attorney General. And these are two folks who've been all across Virginia, in every nook and cranny of Virginia, talking to Virginians and listening to Virginians. And I know for neither of them is that going to stop. That's going to continue right through the summer and into November 5th, so they can share their vision in their election for how Virginia ought to go forward. But I believe that if you all are there for us, if you all will not make tonight your last night in this campaign, and help us get our message out across Virginia about driving job growth, about creating opportunity, by moving government out of the way and letting it focus on those core things that we need it to do well. Education, including reforming education, and getting transportation right as we stand in the middle of Northern Virginia. Those are things government needs to do well. But in the economy, it's the Virginians we should be relying on. Virginia's greatest resource is Virginians. And I trust Virginians. I believe in Virginians. I want to turn our economy over to Virginians. I want to unleash the power of the people of Virginia to grow this economy, create more jobs, and to drive prosperity for everyone, not picking who gets to win and who gets to lose. And I'm real pleased to have a ticket to run with 3.5 weeks before the Democrats. We got a little advantage there. We got a little advantage there, and you all have heard the powerful voice of E.W. He's a committed devotee of first principles and a great speaker about them and how they apply in our lives and what it means for government, whether we follow them or not. And the person I know best from the state Senate was my seatmate for 6 years. Managed to tolerate that adequately well. We were also seatmates in courts and 1 or 2 other committees. And I know him very, very well. And I know he's going to make a great Attorney General. And that is my former seatmate here, Senator Mark Obenshain.